everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode here of our habitat speed build for the North America Animal Pack. So yeah, this is going to be the, what's that? We did the beaver last time, this is the moose this time, and kind of have done another one before that, which was the cougar habitat for Pine Mountain Sanctuary, if you saw that. So I kind of count that as like a habitat speed build, but it wasn't by itself, right? It was like part of a project. So I think we'll do like a whole-on cougar enclosure, just kind of willy-nilly by itself and everything. But yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to check out those builds, especially the beaver build, which is the last build that we did in this map, where we did the beaver dam, the beaver shelter. We kind of had the guest viewing with the cutaway where you can kind of see into the beaver shelter and everything. So yeah, if you haven't caught that, definitely be sure to check back to the last few videos and check that one out there. But yeah, today, as you can tell from the title and everything, we are going to go ahead and build for the moose there. So yeah, for this one we do two meese. No, dang it, I did. I was sitting there saying in my head the whole time, don't say meese, don't say meese, because that's not the proper way to say it, right? And then I went ahead and said it anyways. But yeah, we're doing two moose for this habitat, one male and one female. And yeah, for this build we are going heavy on the foliage. I don't think, no, there's no building of any sort of, as far as like architecture or actual construction, that really goes on for this entire build. I made it a point to, again, make this a really heavy foliage inspired build. Basically, I wanted this to look as naturalistic to a moose like natural habitat as I could, basically. So yeah, again, there's absolutely no building in this whatsoever, unless you count putting paths down, and I already did that. So yeah, the rest of it is going to be again, really heavy foliage. I will say, if I do end up putting this on the workshop and you do download this, just be prepared, because it will slow your computer down by at least 20 frames per second. I've had this idea of doing this type of build for a long time, but I just didn't want to put this type of enclosure into like a big grand scale project or anything like Thornton Hills Zoo or anything else. There's no way this would go in there, because yeah, we can't have one enclosure eating up, you know, half your frame rate or whatever it is. So yeah, this seemed like a good area to do it just on the one-off build. But yeah, and you'll see why near the end, basically why it takes up so much computing power and everything. But yeah, it does. And again, if you put this into your zoos, just be a little bit weary there as you're putting them in there. So but yeah, like I said, I'm going to be focusing heavy on foliage. I was really inspired by a few users in the Bro Nation and just kind of on Twitter overall. One of their names is, oh, and I always mispronounce this, it's like Romanopolis or something like that. I'll try to remember to share some of their pictures here, but if you're not following them on Twitter or have not seen them on the Bro Nation or anything like that, they are a mastermind when it comes to foliage and just kind of letting loose. And you kind of see here, there's the first little inkling, first little hint of kind of the ridiculousness that we're going to be getting into here. But yeah, a lot of what they use to make their foliage palettes look so realistic is making their own grasses, essentially. And we kind of did that already here with the first little bit of grass kind of going into the lake grass or the river grass kind of going into the stream here and everything. So yeah, it's just kind of combining a lot of the like eel grass, the I can never remember the name of it, but the North Africa grass, and just a whole bunch, like the elephant grass, a whole bunch of different grasses kind of together, compiled into this, you know, one unit of foliage there, and you just kind of duplicate it all around to the point where your game eventually cries and starts sweating and everything and wants to die because there's so much foliage in one area. So yeah, that little bit of greenery along the banks there is just a little precursor for what's coming there. So also what I'm building on here, and I've been building on it and adding to it since the beginning of the video, these are supposed to be dead, kind of in between, like, I guess a tree and a bush kind of thing. Yeah, like a very big bush that's kind of dead, lost all of its leaves. I like to think this is maybe early springtime that this habitat was kind of based off of. So again, using these awesome branches, which I'm, again, pretty sure I should probably look into this. And by the time that the 8th build comes out, I'll know the actual answer to this, but pretty sure that these are free, part of the update 1.7 there. So if you aren't utilizing these teeny tiny little branches to make a whole bunch of things, definitely jump on that when you can, because they are super duper useful. Like, I love using these little branches. I wish we could get a FlexiColors set of these, kind of like how we have the faux FlexiColor rocks set and everything that we got from Aquatic Pack. It'd be amazing if we could get a faux branch set using these branches in game, just again for FlexiColor purposes, essentially. So there you go. But let's go ahead and for the next little bit, because again, most of this is really just a lot of rocks, a lot of foliage, just placing down the right kind of trees and everything. So a lot of it is going to be a lot of the same. So for the next little bit, let's go ahead and do some moose facts, kind of like how we did the beaver facts before. Yeah, I want to do this for each of the animals because this is a good little bit there for the animal video and everything. So yeah, let's take a look here at some moose facts. So I'm getting these from the National Wildlife Federation. I think the first time around we got it from the Smithsonian. This time it's going to be from the National Wildlife Federation. So description: moose are the largest members of the deer family, standing 6 feet 1.8 meters tall from hoof to shoulder, and weighing in at more than 1,000 pounds or 450 kilograms. Each of their light to dark brown hairs is hollow, and the air trapped inside provides insulation. I didn't know that. A flap of skin called a dewlap, there it is, hangs from the throat. Males are distinguished from females by their antlers, which grow up to 6 feet across. That's heckin' huge. Range: moose are found in the northern regions of the United States, from Maine to Washington, throughout Canada, and into Alaska. Due to their large size and insulating fur, moose are limited to cold climates. Forested areas with streams and ponds are ideal moose habitat. Hey, look at that, we have a stream going right, or a river kind of going right through there. Yeah, I was hearing stories from people on the stream. We were doing most of this build during stream, by the way, so if you'd like to catch me building live, always put the bell notification on to get a ding whenever I go live building and everything. But yeah, people were saying that you've seen like moose swimming in, like, I don't want to say, was it the Bering Strait, or anyways, like a big strait in between two areas there, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, and you see like moose swimming in the ocean sometimes, and yeah, just all this kind of crazy stuff. I think someone even said that like there has been a orca that's washed up on land, and there was like a moose skeleton inside of it. So that's just like two badass animals having a fight in the middle of the ocean, I guess. A moose versus an orca. Anyways, adult moose use their antlers or hooves to defend themselves from predators like bears and wolves and orcas. The much smaller calves are easier for predators to take down, and many of them fall victim to predation before reaching their first birthday. Oh, bummer. Moose also suffer from a predator of another sort, parasitic brainworms. White-tailed deer are carriers of parasite, but it has no effect on them. When deer defecate, the brainworms are transferred from their waste to land snails. When moose unknowingly eat the snails while foraging for food, they ingest the parasite. I've seen something on it. It was some TV show or whatever where they had to put down a wild moose, because it was like running around in circles, and it just like looked like it had yeah, like what they said, an infestation of the brain, their brainworms. That sucks. That really sucks. Diet: moose are herbivores. The word moose is an Algonquin term meaning eater of twigs. Oh, TIL. Now I learned. I just saw the moose thing on the thing. We were looking up moose noises because no one knew what a moose sounded like, so we found out they sound like this. Ah! So that's a moose. Moose are so tall that they have difficulty bending down to eat grasses, so they prefer to feed on leaves, bark, and twigs from the trees and shrubs. Their favorite foods come from native willow, aspen, and balsam fir trees. They also munch on aquatic plants from streams and ponds. Nice. Life history: male moose called bulls begin to grow antlers in springtime to prepare for the autumn mating season. Large mature bulls with well-developed antlers usually get to mate with the female moose called cows. When bulls are competing for the same cow, they may use their antlers to fight off their opponents. After the mating season, bulls drop their antlers. They regrow them again in the spring. That's interesting. I didn't know they actually dropped them and regrew them. Conservation. Massive and majestic, moose are cherished wildlife icon of North America. Moose often roam throughout residential areas looking for food, and most occasionally collide with them. Hunting and habitat degradation are major threats to moose, but now climate change has caused moose population in Minnesota to fall dramatically. Bummer! Moose are being hurt by overheating, disease, and tick infestation, all tied to warming temperatures. Moose are in jeopardy across the United States, from New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine to Minnesota and Michigan, and even Montana. Let's see, yep, overheating, too many ticks. And here's quick 5 fun facts about moose to kind of wrap it up. And again, I did skip over some things, so I will link this down below. So if you'd like to read along with me, or just kind of read up on the extra facts that I kind of left out, definitely check this link out down below. So 5 fun facts: male moose grow a set of antlers each year during the spring and summer. By fall, antlers can span 6 feet from tip to tip. Number 2, though females lack antlers, they aggressively protect their babies with powerful kicks that can break bones or even kill predators. Number 3, moose are browsers. feeding on the leaves and twigs of trees and shrubs, primarily willow, birch, and poplar. Oh, I thought you meant like the moose like made their own browser, so like you can go on Moose instead of Google. Let's go on Moose instead. Moose are excellent swimmers, able to hold their breath underwater for 30 seconds. Wow, that's a long time. And the last one, despite their large size, moose can run at over 35 miles an hour. Holy cow, that's faster than a human by a long shot. Holy cow. So you can definitely not outrun a moose. But I think I was reading up on another website here that moose are not like naturally aggressive. Like they will defend their territory, but they won't like naturally just run up on you and be like, hey, mother trucker, I'm coming, I'm here to make your day, or anything like that. So they will defend themselves, I know, but yeah, they're not like super duper aggressive. Well, they'll start chasing after you at 35 miles an hour. Shoot, you better have a car at that point, right? So, but yeah, again, I'll link this down below if you'd like to research some more stuff about moose, because heck, man, they're awesome, right? Moose are, what an incredible creature that is and everything. I didn't know that the name moose came from an Algonquin name. If I remember right, Algonquin's a Native American tribe in the United States. I know I've learned about them at least somewhere in my studies. So there you go. So, all right, let's go ahead and look back here. We are starting on the first set, or I guess the second set. The second set of grasses. This is going to be the perimeter grasses. So again, as you can see, just kind of building up from the ground up for these little grass bits here. So here we go, starting on the main grass bit. So you see we start with that drin grass, I think it's called. Then we did the nettle, kind of formed it in there, and then finally with the eelgrass. And yeah, you just start multiplying this across, duplicating this across, covering the entire open field essentially. So, and I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, why are you doing that when we have the long grass brush stroke? And you're right, no, we do have that, and it looks really, really good, but it's not quite there. You can even see it a little bit every once in a while. There, I'm kind of taking the short grass brush across it, but yeah, you can't really tell that much that it's, you know, thick grass or anything. It just looks like very sparse grass. I know they Frontier did that just to kind of help out on performance and stuff like that, and it's really cool that we have it, you know, overall. But yeah, just I really think after seeing, you know, Roman and a few others start to do this, making their own kind of grass palettes and grass sets and everything, that it really does add a funk load to your builds. Again, you know, it's, hey, oh, here we go, I'm showing off Roman right there. So that is just where I got a lot of the ideas from. Again, if you're not following, I'll link their Twitter down below too, so you can follow them on Twitter, because they're always sharing really, really awesome photos that you're like, wait, that's, why are you sharing a real picture and tagging Planet Zoo? That's not fair. So yeah, no, again, I just kind of got the idea from them, and yeah, no, this is really, it turns out really, really cool. But like I was saying earlier, don't do this if you're like making a large scale project, unless you don't care, then, you know, you do you, boo boo. But overall, yeah, if you are doing a large scale project, I really don't recommend doing this method, because your computer will hate you, and you'll hate your computer because your game will be running at, you know, like 20 frames per second kind of thing. So but yeah, the next thing we do to make this look even better, because it does look a little weird at the moment. It does look a little weird with it just just covered like this. So we start to make some trails. So start to kind of cut out some little trails, add in some dirt to make it look like the moose have been kind of coming in and out of this area. And yeah, little details like that make it look really, really nice. And the last thing that makes it look amazing, and I'm not sure what the thumbnail for this video is as of right now, but if it's not of snow, then you're going to see in just a little bit, and hopefully in the cinematics too, the snowfall makes this just like, oh, chef's kiss. It's like, I'm totally like giving myself a pat on the back, I know, but I don't know. It's just something about someone in chat, Claire in chat recommended, like, hey, don't forget, maybe we try out the snow effect there and see how that looks. And I, truth be told, I forget all the time that we have different weather effects in here. So big shout out to her for recommending that. And yeah, right when we do it, I think everyone, like myself and everyone in chat, was just like, oh, that's it right there. Like, that's the stuff right there, basically. So yeah, no, we'll get a little bit of that in the speed build here. You'll see me turn it to snow, I'm pretty sure, near the end, and even through that you can just kind of get a glimpse of how this is gonna turn out. But yeah, definitely stick around till the very, very end there to see the the cinematics and everything, because it looks so good. So speaking of the very end there, if memory serves right, we only have about 3-ish more minutes plus the cinematics, however long those are. So tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and jump on out of here, but do stick around for the rest of the time lapse as we start to make these little trails. There we go, starting to fill in the trails with some dirt and everything. We'll turn on the snow and it looks so good. But yeah, but hey, go ahead, comment down below, what do you think of the build so far? Also comment, what do you think the next animal that we should do is? We have the alligator, the Arctic fox, the prairie dog, the bullfrog, and the something else left. What have we done? We've done the beaver, the cougar, and the moose. So that's 3. So then you have the Arctic fox. I don't know, I can't remember. Anyways, comment down below, what animal should we build for next? Maybe it doesn't even have to be a North American animal or anything. So yeah, let me know down below, comment down below, let me know what you think of this build here. What's your favorite moose fact? That's a good one, right? What's your favorite moose fact? What's the animal that you should build for next? And yeah, that's gonna do it. Cool, so hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. Always do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel already. And yeah, we will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.